So he sprint jumps here. And look at how does he hit this, by the way? So then when he hits, look at how perfect. And just look at this peak. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Bang. The HUD is absolutely, completely messed up as it has lots of elements that doesn't need to in replays. And it has like an actual elim feed there, which is nice. I like that. Let's keep this rather than the normal rubbish replay one. Either way, Shxrk landing his normal drop spot of wonky land. So not going for any like smaller drop. I wouldn't expect anything else of Shxrk, let's be honest. Free kill onto a player. Oh, I was going to say free kill onto a player just landing nearby, but no. Off the rip, maybe not. I love the Shxrk, and a lot of the pros, like, they're so confident keying with nothing. Obviously, I mean, he has a pump, and someone else has just cottoned off spawn, and he's just hit him. He's got, like, under 100 HP. He hits this guy crack there for shield. He hit him white before, and I like the way he angles this. One thing, I've kind of watched this game already. Oh, all these other map things went away. I've just realized. Hold on, the map's gone. Same with this. Awesome. Lovely stuff. One of the things that I really like about Shxrk is that he always uses walls for right-hand peek. So, like, rather than editing, like, just standing on the corner of a wall, we'll see that come back a lot later. So he sprint jumps here. And look at how does he hit this, by the way? How does he hit this round a tree? Like, this is almost a perfect sprint jump, like corner to corner. Like, double movement, jumped from, he was peeking this corner to now just peeking this corner, insta lands and just kills the guy around on the right-hand peak. Super, super minimal thing. I had just a nice little slide there and gets the ramp in. So yeah, from full speed. Something super, super small. He realizes he's not got many mats. Sprint, jump, bang, dead. Beautiful. Super simple. But again, something we're going to see a lot of throughout this match. All right, he starts on the approach. Insta gets doubles, boxes in, doesn't manage to claim it. One thing I've noticed again is, see, he runs out on a left there. So he ran out of this box, which is a left-hand peak. Every time he does that, he slides out of it. So here, as you notice, he just edits and slides out of a left-hand peak. So that can keep his movement going. And again, as he's leaving this box, like, he's not leaving close to the wall. Obviously, he can't because of this blockade here. But he edits like a bottom left 3, which is a really strange edit. And he's at the back tile. So as he sprints out and slides, he's like far back. So he still has control over this. Like, he can place a ramp to block or whatever. Let's see what he actually does. I can't actually remember what he does place here. So that guy tries to edit, so he places a ramp. I think he walls around the sides to block off the left piece. Cones, grabs that wall, and then goes back. So he's kind of created like a diagonal right-hand peak here, right? He's like created a good angle for himself to set up on a right hand. Like, watch anything. This diagonal is always good. Insta takes the pickaxe out, goes right up to the wall, hits the once, replaces, because that gets the edit resets. And I like how, like, the small movement things that Shxrk does is insane. I know this is going to sound such a stupid point, but notice how when he did that, he stood still. All right, so as he does this, he slides out. And then watch, as he goes to edit this, notice how he stands still when he edits. Now, a lot of that's probably due to binds, but look at the position he put himself in when he did it. So he hits the window, replaces, and he stands still. He's standing directly still as he edits this here. So then when he hits, look at how perfect this right-hand peak is. And he like stood there before he did it, which is insane, right? Like, now he doesn't need to walk and swing into this. He put himself in literally the perfect spot. And now when he goes for a shot, he doesn't even have to move into it. Or look at the tiny little wiggle to go into it to hit the shot. And this guy's just absolutely lost, obviously. The one thing I'm appreciating more, the more I watch like Shxrk and some of the best players, in particular Shxrk, honestly, it's something that blows me away, is how unbelievably good his peaks and movement are. Like, obviously everyone's talking about the mechanics and how crazy and fast he is, but it's just impossible to hit him when he sets up on a peak like that so quickly. So basically in this instance, the place you need to stand is like not on this corner, but you're basically right up against this wall here. And as you do this, if the player's here, you've already basically got the perfect peak. I shot the wall because I suck, obviously, but there you go. And in this instance where the player kind of spawns over to your right, and where's the window in this? So the window is here. So you're more actually just like standing in the middle of the tile. So here, you're kind of standing up against it here. Perfect. And in this instance, it's kind of the same. Yeah, on the right, if I stand near the middle. Beautiful. It's funny how, like, when you're facing some of the best players in the world, you just look lost. Like, this guy's literally just absolutely lost in the sauce. There's just too much peace around. Sees the player down here. Crazy beams. That's like a 90 tag. And this guy's already cracked too. So as he gets onto the wall, Now, from this position here, it's kind of obvious what the other player is going to do. Think about it for a second. Right, think about what you think the other player in this situation is going to do. He's boxed up in a wood box. Shxrk's on a diagonal in front of him here. He's in, you know, he's not got a good setup here. Clearly, he's getting W keyed already. So if you're the player in this box, what do you do? The correct answer is you probably just go back a tile because you can't go into the wall that's already there. Shxrk has this wall. You can't go this way because that's towards him. So you're going to go back, like towards where this cone is. So Shxrk jumps up and doubles over, and guess what? The player is already there. This is also really important muscle memory here, as he kind of gets into this guy's ramp that's here and hits him and cracks him through. I think he gets the full box. He gets the wall and the cone at least. And then the important muscle memory here is just the spray cone pump. Now, this is like super basic muscle memory, but again, every time I talk about pros like this, I bring out how important it is there. As you can see, he was spraying through and he places the cone and immediately the pump is already out, right? So he's minimizing like the pull-out time that it takes to take it out. He's not just like stuck with his blueprints out. He manages to replace that and then gets the kill instantly there. Now, of course, one of the big things about any pro is that the fact their aim's insane. So like most fights, as you notice, like in this scenario, the guy's right here. This is like the third or fourth fight in a row he started just with a little beam, right? He hit all 3 bursts there. So that was like 22, 67, 6-7 damage. I'm not effing comp report. I ain't doing that. Right. But the way he approaches is good. This guy actually does a good job of like vertically towering, because a lot of the times what players will do is they'll box once. I take it back. He's not. I was going to say he's going to do like a big like vertical tower. So you create like 2 boxes, but he doesn't really cover that actually whatsoever at all. And now as Shxrk's approaching, this is kind of like an odd angle. Like I feel a lot of players would go for this wall here. This is kind of what I would probably do here. You start pickaxing, start spraying, the other guy probably gets doubles, and then it takes forever. So instead, he's sliding up, doubles over the top again. So he's going over the top and around. And now this guy hasn't actually really boxed up, which is strange. So he drops down and then cones in the player's box. So it goes up, over, down, and underneath, which is an interesting way to approach. And then he can just spray through because this guy doesn't have a cone in. And then hits the edit and again takes the pump out. Now, the guy does manage to get out here, so he has to go for an angle swap. He resets, ramp, sprint jump up, grabs himself onto the high wall. That's an interesting 90, actually, now I look at it. I usually, anytime I do this jump, personally, I have the ramp, which ends up facing the other way. But he does it there where he almost, like, jumped and did a 180. That was kind of cool. I'm not really seen that. Super basic. Cones all around. So I think that was all 3 of his cones. I don't know. That might have been the other player that placed those. Let's see. Yeah, he gets doubled over here. Yeah, so it might be the other player's cones. So he sprints, slides, and he's out and up. And this guy's obviously, like, the other player he's fighting here is obviously pretty good. Like, he knows how to build. So he edits through, places a floor, cones with the walls to block, hits the right edit, 94, and then a single burst to kill him. Lovely. So I just want to see this sprint jump again. I know this is super minor, but every time I do something like this, I am just like, I'm off over here. Like, I'm doing a jump and I'm just gone. He's managed to do it like that. Interesting. Okay. All right. The movement is so good. Look at this elim too, right? Okay. This player is here. He's going up. So he's got the increased movement speed because he's just used the overdrive grenade. So as he starts ramping up, he sees this guy's up here. Gets the floors, gets the double, hits a big fat edit. Somehow this guy doesn't hit him. This is obviously like a big 50-50 edit. Somehow this guy doesn't pump him, but because this shotgun's so crazy, hits him a 164. And then he sprints, slides, and turns. So he's falling backwards, but just as he stops, he drops down, and then using the overdrive grenade movement, he does another slide and pumps him on another, I don't even know how to describe that. There's like a slide down here and then slide and like slid in the water to get like a right hand peak. Yet again, this is kind of what I was mentioning before in that first elimination about how the fact that he's using these walls as like a right hand peak. He does that more in Endgame, but this is like another good example of that where it's just like sliding while walking to the right here. Just gets him like the peeker's advantage to get that shot. And he also crouches at the right point so he's not way over peaked. So in full speed, he's going up, hits the doubles, bang. Covers the wall, sprints, falls, bang, super quick. So for this one, I've used edit and aim realistic, which is really good. So in this instance, there's like a wall in front and you can just edit it and shoot. But I also like you can just practice and do something like this. So you can actually just do slides along the wall to try and figure out which way that you want to do. Or same thing as kind of how he's had it set up here, where you can try and do like a sprint jump to get the shot what it did start with. But I think just practicing the slides is really good in this instance. And you can also place the wall to kind of practice in between as well. Another way you can do is you can also do a sprint slide jump as well, rather than just focusing specifically on sliding. The way this starts is interesting too. So you can see he gets a little beam, or no beam. What am I talking about? He doesn't beam in at all. Gets full piece, tries to, but the other guy's escaped. So he drops down onto the angle here, and then he places both of these ramps. Now, for the most people, if you place both of these ramps, what they're going to do is this guy's probably going to make like a right-hand peek and edit here, because I think you're going to drop down onto this, which, I mean, that's what most players do. So he jumps and has his pump out there. You can see he's kind of ready for it, right? But doesn't end up getting anything, and then claims a bunch more of the extra tiles. And now that he's got this floor here, you can start pickaxing working below. Now that this guy ended up running out, right? Like a play players can make from inside here. So when you're inside this box, one of the plays that they can make is that they can run, assuming these two boxes are the opponents, and you're standing here. DJ tries to do this to me all the time. I've learned now. Is that they can just do it, like they can run out under your floor and then do a sprint jump shot on top of you, like while he, say if he's in this angle pickaxing here, you can run under and jump up and shoot them. I don't know if he was trying to bait that out or anything, but he basically pickaxe once and then drop down with the pickaxe out, and you can just see he's already got the pump out there. Hits the 165. Great jump to like get back out of the box, and then it's just simply getting in with the SMG at this point. He knows where the like all the edits are for his, so you can just kind of get in and kill him. So there's nothing super impressive about this kill at all here. He's getting third party and he basically just sprays and kills him. One of the things I find interesting is you can kind of see like what he's thinking or like preparing doing this. So he obviously, this player's stuck below, so he's in the tile below him down here. So you can see he's approaching on the right to try and grab like that wall. So he slides down, pickaxes, and then you can see, or he saw there, through the wall that there's two layers, or there's like a, you know, there's a ramp in here. It's kind of awkward, you know, it's not the greatest place to do anything with. So he already claims a ramp and a wall here, edits through cones, and then creates like an area where this player can get out. Now he's seeing this player's doing stuff inside the box as he does this, but he's basically cut off an exit straight away. So this guy can't do anything. Here's the guy third partying the whole fight, very annoyingly, but it does work in Shxrk's advantage. So now he can just flip this. And now he's got like all of the right-hand edits if he wants. The other player really can't go out this right side because he's doubled over here, which I don't know if that was intentional to block that off or not. Can't go out this side. He can't go towards him, and he's getting third-partied from the other side. So he's basically just fully pinched into this one area. So he takes his time, and just to go through sprays. Obviously gets a little damage here as the other player's just getting third-partied. Gets the wall. Nice right-hand peek. Drops it down. Interesting, like, again, movement where he's done this bottom right edit, which is kind of an odd edit when you're standing on top of a ramp, but he walked to the right so that this part he doesn't accidentally shoot. So I don't, maybe he could have just done like a peanut butter edit or something, I don't know, but either way he walked to the right to get out. And then basically he's just got this player pinched and get a good kill. But I like the exit control that he did at the start, just creating it, like cutting off a bunch of the angles. And a lot of that is kind of what you see from Shxrk's gameplay anyways, is he just gives the other player not really many opportunities to do anything. It's really funny then, the third party starts to come in, and he just sprint jump shots 125. And I like how he always has a really good awareness when people are dropping down. I want to see how he knows when that happens, because I've just watched this. So this is like a really, really nice trick to do on approach there, where he placed the cone, edited that tile, and then because he's still placing a cone, it's placed one inside his box. Oh, I guess, okay, he obviously saw the other player in the center of the box. So he sees the guy in the cone now, so he knows he's going to drop. So he goes for one pickaxe, sees the wall, and then he tries to drop 2 layers again. Just sprays through, as the other guy obviously doesn't really expect him to be on the wall that quick. He's trying to get the mini popped, and then he can get the wall and... I mean, he gets the cone and the wall in, which is nuts there. It's on full speed, drops down. There's the cone edit. As you see, obviously did kind of mess up a little bit because he put himself in one too, but he gets in easily. So you can also use this piece control scenario to practice it here, where the ball's up above you. So in this instance here, I can place it through here. Same thing. So this next fight is probably going to be the longest. And I checked the guy because I wanted to see if he was a good player. 1,200 earned. More importantly, he does follow me on Twitter. That's what's more important right here. He puts up the best fight. He puts up the best fight, which is funny because Chap is also in this game. And Chap gets put down in a matter of seconds. So let's see how the fight ends up going. Shxrk jumps straight onto him. He gets an opening shot. Flies up onto height. Couple ramp flips. I love the way he edits these floors here. 2 in a row to get like 2 angles down below. So he opens things up, sprint, jumps up to the side, 2 floors, hits the floor edit here to see if he's got an angle down below, which is like a perfect peek. It's so hard to get like any shots off in this angle. Does the same here, then realizes that he's not gone into that box. So he places cones because these floors, obviously you can just kind of one spray them since they've just been edited. So just to protect that. Sprints. This is such a nice angle, by the way. I watched his actual video. He's put like a video of this up on YouTube. I could recommend everyone go watch because it's just crazy to see like the actual fact that he's doing this on like his 30 ping. This I saw was such a good angle. So like as he's walking along the wall on the side, he knows he's going to be pressuring the top of this one. But because it's on the right hand, right, because he's not on the left, he has a right hand peek and he can like spray this wall as he's dropping. So he gets like an extra burst, like 2 bursts, which allows him to get in. Now, if the other player was like on that box, that's so quick that he's just in and has a shot. But obviously he doesn't. Still a really nice little angle he can play though. Doubles up. Sprint jumps, doubles over. Tries to grab that wall. And I think what's important about this sequence, so just watch there, is that he's walking to the right. Now, I've talked about this quite a lot, but I'm going to talk about it more. Actually, this whole sequence, now I think about it. So he's circling on the right, right? So say if we fly up into the sky here, you've got to think the way he's approaching this is like this. It's a circle this way. It's not a circle this way. It's a circle this way. So it's always to his right. So if we kind of watch from above, all right, what nameplate's on here? So you'll see what I mean. So he's approaching. He's walking to his right. He's still going round to his right. Now he's going round to his right. Pingy McDaniel goes this way. So Shxrk is still circling to his right as well. He's dropping down and trying to go around to his right. And the reason for that is because you just constantly create right-hand peaks for yourself. Like, obviously, this guy's doing a good job just boxing and getting away. But every single time you're circling to the right, you make it very difficult for the other player to make a good peak on you. Because in order for them to peak, they open into a right-hand peak for you. You can see he's still following to the right. He's still running to the right. He's now... Oh, he was thinking about going to the left for a second there. But you see now he's kind of jumping up on top and falling to the left. He doesn't have as many good angles. There's not like an opportunity to set up something whatsoever at all. He's just doing a good job following through and just spraying with the burst here. Now he's back up again. He actually does a little jump to the left. But as you notice, there's not really like a good angle there. Nice little shot. Pingy obviously did a good little angle there. But because he hit him through, it's literally just a case of just getting in at this point. Like, when someone's this aggressive... Oh, that's a really nice little... good awareness on that floor. When someone's, like, made this many boxes and you've already got some damage off, you know what? Sometimes just getting in works. I'm not doing that because I don't trust my aim that much whatsoever. But obviously the best players in the world can. It's just, like, a good example of what happens if you don't approach on the right, okay? So, he's fighting this next guy. AVC, the big one. This is a good right approach. He does kind of a similar thing before. Almost gets a... I can't believe he went down and below. I don't even know what he was thinking there. But from this angle, this right wall here, that's the right approach. And in order to go into this wall, you have to go onto the left. And as you notice, he always sets up diagonally and goes onto this wall for the most part. But he tries to like spray in and ramp phase. But this guy can just open like a window and just hit for a bang. Luckily, he hit an absolute minimum there, because that could have just been the end of Shxrk's game if that guy hit a better shot. Green pump. That's probably why. If he had one of the new shotguns, like, Shxrk's literally just dead there. From his POV... He drops down. Shxrk's... That's crazy that Shxrk is literally already there, but... Window. If that's one of the new pumps, Shxrk's just insta-dead there. It's not a bad peak, actually. But you just get a cone in. But yeah, obviously, Shxrk's not going to 50-50 this from there. Now, what's funny is, as this is going on, Chap is lurking. And Chap is an incredibly good fighter. You can see him sitting on top. He's trying to go for the kill into this guy. That guy shockwaves away. Milks the shot. Hits a 26-26. Slides. Jumps in on what is a left-hand peak. Now, I want to analyze this very specifically because he gets absolutely packed in by Shxrk. So watch. Firstly, how are we missing that in the big 26? ADS pump miss from one tile away. It's not a good look, I'll be honest. It is down. Hits a 26-26. Misses the full piece, unfortunately. He's really only done 50 damage to start with. He obviously thinks Shxrk's weak because he's third-partying this fight, right? So he edits out. And this is what I mean by going around the left, okay? So he's ran out and to his left. Firstly, he's running past a wall, which is Shxrk's, onto, and then another wall, which is Shxrk, because Shxrk has created 2 boxes here. So this is what I mean. This is the left approach. Look at this angle for sake, right? If you're from Shxrk's POV, edit, and you can hit a shot here, right? Like, if he literally just hits like he could catch Champ with his pickaxe out here or whatever. So it's not a great setup. So obviously Shxrk then ramps in. But again, this is like, you're still approaching on a left because this middle wall is missing. Sure, it's not a good angle to grab it because you have to turn and look to your right, whereas Shxrk has a good peak since he's on the inside. And obviously he misses because he doesn't get it there. So he's in. Now he's in, and Shxrk does a great peanut butter peek. Now, this is a really good shot from Chap as well, to have his shotgun out so quickly here. To actually hit. What does he hit? Hits a 105, but he's also chunked 150 back again because of the new shotgun, which is incredibly strong. And Shxrk gets a ramp over and resets the wall. So now Chap is kind of stuck in the full box. From Shxrk's POV, one of the things he does is insanely nice, because if you notice, the wall over to the left on this side is missing. So he hits another peanut butter edit, grabs the wall. So Chap is now entirely boxed, holds the ramp to stop Chap getting through, waits for a second to let the builds heal, because obviously, like, he has a spray, he can just burst straight through, hugs the left. Chap could not be more in the piece right now. and just dies. So yeah, you can see how Chap approaching on a left was, you know, it basically just didn't work. He also missed the easiest shot of all time, which is a pretty bad look. All right, we're about to see something very similar to what we just saw before with the walk right. There's going to be a lot of this in this video, unsurprisingly here. So he approaches this wall here. He's just spraying in. He's going crazy. He does go for left, but notice how he doesn't like go and try and do anything on that left wall. So he sees the players down. This movement is so nice, by the way. You see what he did with the ramp is he edited it in this fashion here so that as he's spraying, he can crouch, and when this floor breaks, he will fall straight through because he's phasing in with this ramp here, or this cone edit. So very fast to do that. The player gets the wall in, so he doesn't manage to do anything. And again, he's walking to the right, so you can see he can very quickly get an angle onto this. And he doesn't break it. There's a ramp in, so again, 2 layers, so there's no point in trying to fight that. So he has the shockwave or the overdrive nade effect. So he jumps up, and again, same thing. He approaches on the right, and he's done that so fast. This other player doesn't even place a floor in. That angle swap was so quick. He gets the wall cone, pumps, and just switches. He also like doesn't do anything fancy here where he's not like pump resetting. He just has the most broken weapons in the game, so he can just pump and then insta-kill Banya. Another fight where he's just walking around the right, as you can see, was a surprise. And look what happens because of this. He floors, and just look at this peak. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Bang, 170, because he's walking on the right. He sets himself up with nice right-hand peaks because he walks into them like that. Almost gets another shot, which is really good. Walks around. Tries to get the below piece. So nearly grabs that wall in between, doesn't. And one thing I really like is that he always gives himself some exit control. So in this instance, like, he knows he can't go out to his right here. Sure, he has like access to this cone, but he edits this wall and then opens it up so he has like a place to leave. Obviously, he was trying to pre-piece at the same time, but he also has like an angle he can set up on a right hand if need be. He then gets out, starts running around, jumps up. He just basically at this point, like once he's gotten him weak, the goal is just follow him and just get in. So like he was just hounding him down. But by constantly walking on the right, obviously he can track him much easier as well. So he always just kind of knows where the other players are. And he can always just continue to set up in pressure, which allows him not to be able to heal. This looks like a very nothing burger of an Elim. But there's 2 players down below. One spraying the other one. There's not really anyone third partying. So he just does a play to overdrive grenade behind. Because this guy either has this open or is just being third-partied either way. And say he didn't just insta-one pump him, then he'd be pinching the other player between. So he has like an opportunity to just third-party from behind. So it's more just the angle he chose to do it at there. All right, let's see this one. Opens up with a nice bit of peace, but that player manages to get back into his box. He jumps across, does the similar thing, blocks that angle, blocks this angle. This guy's already in like a full layer of piece. He's panicking, so he drops down, hits like a 160, I think that was there. And notice how when you're approaching on a left, so he approaches on this left because he owns this. There's not a good angle, right? This guy is able to escape. It's hard for Shxrk to like follow him in and actually get like a shot off at him. So he goes round, and it's like this is like a bad angle to get a shot off. So he sprints round. I think the other guy jumps up. Yeah, he sprints up and then jumps over. And guess where he's going? Who would have thought? To the right wall here. He just pickaxes on. He attempts again to go below and piece him because he's double pickaxing, so he thinks the other player's going to drop down, but he doesn't. So now he's got this, like, it's not below piece, but he's just trying to obviously pickaxe through. Doesn't get so. I love the sprint side jump up here and then jumps up onto a ramp and then on top. So this position here, again, is created like a right hand to approach this wall. Because if this guy decides to like double edit out or edit this wall to cone him, he's on top of the ramp so that he can like still run out if need be. The only play the other player can make here is by running into this box and like doubling up. Maybe he can double this floor here to get a shot off, but it's going to be like a really tough angle because of the way he's positioned himself here. And you're not going to do that when you're like 1 HP. So Shxrk has another right hand. Greg gets in, gets the cone, and just kills him. I just want to say, don't do this in the solo cash cup because you will piss off everyone around you. He like staggers ahead of this guy a little bit here, slightly, just so he can sit and look through his cone. Because obviously the mobility is like nades or the fists. He literally just sits here, waits for him to come out, hits him with a bang, ramp cone to block himself, and then just sprint jump chases him with a burst to kill him on max moving, like what, to 6th zone? Yeah. And then just fights him back in the storm. I'd be so annoyed if I was this guy. He's playing, oh, I'm playing a good game, get a max rotate, and then all of a sudden you just have Shxrk just jumping on you on the max rotate. Now fighting in storm, and then he just kills him here, of course, and then he has the nades to get away. If that happens to me in a solo cash cup, I'm not queuing the next match. this is kind of what I mean by sitting on walls, right? So in this position here, he's kind of like towards the edge of the storm, or before he's there. There's not really anyone near him at that point. So what he can do is he can kind of just sit with a wall open on a right-hand peak. So like this is the best right-hand peak he will ever get. Like not standing on an edit, because like this wall's fully structural, full health or whatever it is. So you can just stand and always hit sprays like this. You'll notice he does this for quite a bit here. He hits his pump onto this guy. Does the same thing here. You know, a lot of players, I think in this scenario, rather than doing this edit, they would maybe do, well, obviously the storms there, so maybe not, but a lot of them would do like the bottom 4 and then sit on the wall. But instead he can just sit on the other wall, like this kind of right wall that he has here, just to have like full protection. And then the zone ends up pulling back. Like, look at the vision he has on all these other players, and I don't, he just full tries to psycho into this guy's box. But same thing, he's just gotten to kind of the front side here as the zone goes. And then look at the peak that he's sitting on. Just sitting under a ramp on a right-hand peak. By far the best peak you could possibly make. Also just the safest peak in this instance too. And just sitting playing with his pump out, because this pump is obviously insanely broken. The amount of damage that you can output here is just nuts, right? I mean, I say that and he hits a 23. Not ideal. He surely can hit a little bit more. Let's see. Free kill. Yep, free kill on the backside. Now 89. Okay, milking a little bit here. Burst. Keys the guy backside. Bursts in. Not doing anything too fancy, just little sprays. Not trying to like... You don't need to get too mechanical at the backside of the zone. People kind of freak out anyway. Now he's at the backside, starting to get lobby focused. Runs through all the old builds, which is really nice. Sprint jumps up. Is he just going to ramp phase in? No. Creates himself a nice right-hand peak here. Gives himself an opportunity to go for height. Shockwaves onto the front side. 120. Full pieces, just circling around again on the right. What a surprise. And then gets a kill onto the guy on height. Oh, still 22 eliminations at this point, which means he still has like what was this, 31? So he still has 9 more to go in the end game. Let's see how he ends up racking these up to. Bunch of players down low. Again, creates, I was about to say he tried to create that same angle there. He placed the cone and then the wall as you can peek down below. So you can see he was kind of like setting up an angle to spray just off of that right hand peak, and then ended up jumping up onto this ramp instead. Player flying through. Smurf moneymaker. Beamed. Shockwaves to the front side. Runs around the back. That is very nice. All right, so he beams this guy through the sky. Shockwaves. Overdrives. And then goes around the back. So this is actually really important here, because obviously the lobby's coming from this direction. So you don't want to be pickaxing onto this guy's wall or phasing in from here, because all of these players can shoot you in the back and whatnot. So he goes around to the storm side here, which is kind of the front side of the zone. And now he's looking back, which allows him just to spray in and then get a free kill. There's also a guy at any third parties. All of his edits just goes back, hit a nice 175, beam, dead. This is a funny high ground retake. He's got the fizz effect because he's just gone through a grenade. So he ramps up underneath this guy. Like from this person's POV, he's probably just... Has he seen that ramp? Yeah, probably has. But it doesn't expect him to jump up like this. Hits like a 160 and then doesn't get anything. Again, another sprint jump. Doesn't sue. Because he has this shotgun, he can't shoot right now because it takes 2 seconds. But again, notice how he placed floors around the right. So he's jumping up, always having a right-hand peak. Who would have thought? In almost every instance, that works out for him. And then this player's weak up on height. So you can just shockwave up. I don't know if he actually kills this player or not. I don't know if he does. Let's see. I can't remember. I've not watched that far. Cone in. Burst. Dead. So this guy comes. Hits a 105 through the sky and hits him with a burst. And the approach he does here is nice. So this guy hits a box. He doesn't go for like this wall because that guy's going to create another box back. So he jumps over, places 2 ramps, slides, and look at, like, because he slid, and because he's doing this again over the right and onto this wall, look at how early he can pickaxe. Like, he pickaxes whilst he's still on top of the cone from here. And then he can just pickaxe in. He tried to grab this wall, obviously, between them, but wasn't able to. And takes out his pumps, and then just bursts straight through. So, in that instance where this other player hadn't had that wall there, he's just dead straight away. So, because he jumped over and just basically pickaxed in, he would have had a completely free kill. Then drops down, slides. Oh, someone jumps into his box. Okay. Maybe he doesn't get that elim straight away. Let's see. Resets. Stays up on height. He's got the chug. That guy's just dead. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he was too weak to do anything. He thought, you know what? I'm going to try to take height, win the game. Probably not the best play. Let's be real. Back up to full HP. 200-200. Playing at the front side. This guy, okay, there's no analysis to provide there. Let's be honest. Unfortunately. 49 onto that player. Down below. You can see easy jumping because this guy's not got a middle wall, but doesn't shoot. Nice little wall and ramp to make sure he can get out of that box there safely. I mean, if you're playing on height this season, one of the things I was actually going to say about solo cash up generally is that, I mean, and in duos, height is so good because like the mobility is not free. So if you're front side height, looking back with the pump out, a spray weapon, wherever that may be, they're all very strong this season. It's so easy to get a bunch of damage, get a bunch of elims. Ooh, Howley, because this is another pro we've got here. Won a lot of cash cups, so he's a good player, so It's not necessarily someone who should go down easy, but he does, obviously, because he's too busy focusing up on height. Now it's what? Top 3 scenario. Repairs is up. Who else we got? Nice little angles he's creating up on height here, as you can see. He was kind of creating more similar to what we said before, cone and then walls. So he ended up moving around from it, but he creates this, which gives him like a nice right-hand peak. And because he's on the right-hand side of the storm, it's the same thing. I mean, I wonder how many times I said right in this video. It's been quite a lot. Let's be real. But I mean, obviously, like, the peaks he's doing is insane. Ooh. Look at this peak he does with the floor as well. So he jumps up, he's getting sprayed by repairs, goes for a shot, and then places this floor here, and then peeks over the edge of it, right? Like, great right-hand peek. So he's scouting what these two players are doing down below here, and he's waiting, and then just edits, and then hits, like, the 79 pump. So, like, really nice, just little peek off of the floor. Like, the angles he's taking are so good. Same here. Unfortunately, that's a miss. But, like, the right-hand peaks this guy creates are unbelievable. Like, from repairs POV, I mean, maybe it's not that good. Maybe he's a little overextended. But he has already missed a shot from there. He's shockwaved up. Now we're going to see a little height retake attempt, I would imagine. Maybe he drops. I can't remember. Let's see. Nah, he just kind of tarps long, drops down. There's still a bunch of players left, so repairs thinks he's going to win this. Drops down to front. Lets his shotgun heal off. Nice little shot into whoever that player is, down on low. Don't know if he can actually get the mats. Sprints to front. So he's got a nice little box to work with. Shockwaves up. Bang. And repairs is dead. Okay. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Search Reisshub in-game to find the Training Hub version 2, which is the best practice map you will ever be able to play. I wish you could say Shxrk uses it, but he hasn't. You know, I can't use that as a promo, unfortunately. Like the video. Subscribe. Peace.